Is James Paxton a must add? Currently 54% rostered. Paxton is currently carrying a 3.39 ERA, best we've seen from Paxton since 2017. He has a 7-1 record in 14 starts and has an average run support of 8 runs per game. That's crazy, man. Thank God he's on a great team
Wow.
now, right? He's allowed 6 earned runs against the Pirates on June 5th, but since then only has given up 2 runs total in his last 3 starts. So, Kevmo, is James Paxton a must-add in your opinion?
I'm going to give you a bit of a cop-out answer here. Kind of going back to what we said last time, what kind of league are you in? You know, if you are in a points league and it's somewhat deep, then yeah, I'd say he's a must-add. I think he's going to get you enough points. He's going to get you the wins, all that kind of stuff. If it's, I mean, I guess he's been doing fine for even a categories league, but especially if it's shallow, I don't know if he's a must-add. He seems like he might be kind of like a streaky pitcher. Like you get hitters that are kind of streaky as well, you know? So I think he might be like that. I would kind of say I ride the hot hand. If you are having to make a tough decision on who to drop because you have some high upside guys and, you know, not a lot of pitching, then maybe not. But, you know, I guess it just depends on the league. So if I have to give you a yes or no, I'm going to say no, not a must-add.
All right, Javi, is James Paxton a must-add in your opinion?
So I'm going the opposite, simply because there are a lot of injuries to a lot of good pitchers out there right now. Um, I think Paxton is somebody that we didn't really expect to be pitching as well as he's been pitching. I mean, the 3.39 ERA is great. I think he has 36 walks, which is a lot. You know, he doesn't strike out a lot of guys, but in a depleted Dodger rotation and with an offense like the Dodgers, I think that he is actually a pretty good add for anybody that's kind of hurting on the pitching side of things as far as fantasy baseball goes. Because you know, let's be honest here. We didn't really see James Paxton putting this kind of work in. Honestly, I think he was just like a veteran guy that they brought in. You know, in cases like this where you know the pitching in the Dodgers rotation is they're gonna have injuries, man. And you see Bueller's out, Yamamoto's out, Kershaw got shut down. So what he's doing for the Dodgers to me is like a freaking plus because I don't think the Dodgers really expected him to do as much as he's been doing, you know. And then as far as fantasy, you know, fantasy wise, I don't think anybody said, "Oh, I'm gonna have Paxton on my squad for sure." You know, I'm
Yeah.
sure he was a waiver pickup. So for what he's doing, I think he is a must add. You know, depending on what your pitching looks like on your
Yeah.
fantasy team. But I think he is a must add for right now. He's pitching great, man. He looks good.
Yeah, I think you said it right there. He's a must-add for right now,
Right now.
you know,
Yeah.
but
Hmm.
I think once we kind of see a little bit of trouble from Paxton, I think he's like I wouldn't hesitate to hit that drop button,
Right.
you know,
Right.
because we've seen him be terrible the past few
Yeah.
years, you know, ever since he went to the Yankees, I believe. You know, that's when like
Yeah.
the downfall kind of like started, you know, and maybe it was the beard. Maybe the Yankees just you know, they
Yeah.
took away his like Samson power or something. I
Power.
don't, but
Oh.
all right, so
I would say if it wasn't for team context, I wouldn't be. I feel like it wouldn't be as close for me. I think it would be a for sure no.
Yes.
If he wasn't a dog,
Yep.
because
I
I
agree.
mean you can find enough people who are also hot right now and just doing like pitching is actually. I think it's more so that hitting isn't caught up to pitching. Still
yeah,
surprisingly, like
Mhm.
even like the Andrew Abbotts and stuff are like useful. And again, it's just if it wasn't that he was on the Dodgers, if he was on the Reds or something, I think we would be like, definitely not.
Yeah. Different story.
I think, yeah,
or
I
the
think I think
Rockies or the
smart. Yeah,
Marlins
for
or
sure.
any
If he's
kind of
on a
struggling
bad
team.
team, yeah, then I think we're just like, he's a streamer. But I think because he's on the Dodgers, it's like, yeah, let's pick him up right now while he's hot,
Yeah.
or while things are going good. But like we said, it might go sour pretty fast. But
Yeah.
Hopefully not. Hopefully not.
If I'm a James Paxton owner, which I am in I think 1 or 2 leagues, I'm not starting him against good lineups. I'm waiting for either mediocre lineups or just weak lineups to start him against. I would never start him against the Orioles, never start him against the really hot Astros right now. The Astros started off really slow, but they've been on a tear lately. I might start him against the Yankees because the Yankees in the last 10 are 2-8. They're on a slide right now. They're not hitting very good. Gleyber Torres has even stated I got some stuff that I need to work on. There's a lot of struggling hitters in that lineup. They lost Rizzo. They lost Stanton, which we're going to talk about in a little bit. So just looking at James Paxton's last 3 starts, they were versus the Rangers, at Colorado, and at the White Sox. And all 3 of those teams, the Rangers are struggling. They're not the offensive powerhouse that they were last season, but Colorado, weak lineup. Chicago White Sox, weak lineup. Even though he pitched at Colorado, you're still facing a weak lineup, and he does get a lot of ground balls. And with the Dodgers' elite defense, especially after the Dodgers ended up getting Kevin Biggio to man the hot corner, and much better defensively than Max Muncy. I'd rather have Muncy's bat. But the glove and the arm, makes it more worthwhile that they made that trade. So that being said, career low strikeouts, second highest career walk rate, expected ERA of 4.45. He's allowing a lot of hard contact, whether it's on the ground or in the air. He's scaring me a little bit with that. He's heavily increased his curveball usage from 19% in 2023 up to 27% in 2024. I'm absolutely certain that that's the Dodgers doing, trying to maximize his true potential. He cut back on the cutter usage from 16.5% in 2023 down to 4.2% in 2024. The results are there, but I'm not buying into Paxton. The Dodgers defense has played a huge factor in his overall production, but that good luck won't last forever. He's a high 3s ERA guy who I would only trust against weak lineups, 54% rostered. I think that's fine. Might be even a little bit too high. I can almost guarantee that his luck will run out at some point. I think that, James Paxton, let's just look at his home and away numbers right now. So in 9 starts away from Dodger Stadium, he has a 3.98 ERA and a 1.28 whip. At home, only has 5 starts. He has a 2.51 ERA with a 1.33 whip. So I think I'm trusting him a little bit more at home. It seems like he feels like a little comfortable in Dodger Stadium. The Dodger Stadium's not really like a pitcher's or a hitter's ballpark. It leans more towards pitchers, but it's more of like a neutral stadium. It's not like San Francisco that is very pitcher friendly, and it's not like Colorado that's very hitter friendly. It's like a good medium in the middle. So I feel like that's kind of been in his favor lately. I think the curveball usage has definitely increased his chances of pitching well. He's getting a lot of pop-ups, which is why the launch angle is so high, for batters faced. That's basically all I got for James Paxton. You guys want to add anything?
No, I think you ended up kind of, putting a bow on it. I think
hitting it.
Just ride the hot hand if he's available. But I'm not sure what the schedule is coming up. Just keep an eye out for those tough lineups.
Yeah, the Dodgers had a really tough schedule in the beginning of the season. And I think it's going to just get a little bit easier from now. Like they're facing the White Sox, and I think they have the day off today. And I'm not sure who they're facing this weekend. It's so hard to keep up with all this baseball plus doing podcast stuff like on a daily basis. I'm constantly on my laptop and on my phone just taking notes all the time, and I focus a lot more on individual players rather than teams.
Stats and stuff.
I wish I had more time to focus on teams,
At all.
especially like, you know, the powerhouses in the league. But that's why I watch our other podcast on Sunday nights with Carlos and Ernie. So anyone watching, make sure you check out their live shows every Sunday. Sometimes they move it to Monday, depending on, you know, vacation schedules or holidays or whatever it is. But yes, check out the Power Hour with Carlos and Ernie on this very same channel. Real quick, if you are still watching, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button and scan that QR code in the top right corner. It'll take you to all of our social medias. And if you have any fantasy questions or questions in general about baseball, you can always hit us up on Instagram. Any one of our social medias. Instagram seems to be the easiest one to get a hold of us, or you can comment on this video and I'm sure someone will be able to get back to you soon.